Godzilla, king of the monsters, has come and gone, but the new titans revealed in this story are here to stay, especially the Behemoth. Out of the handful of new monsters that appeared in the third act to the Monsterverse, Behemoth was elevated by the fans in a way not seen before, at least by me. Not since the Toho days has a new monster been instantly so loved and cherished like that of Behemoth. And it's all a bit crazy when you think about it. If you put together the complete time Behemoth is actually on screen, it's not even a minute. The monster only had a few shots, all of which were merely just glimpses of the great beast walking. But still, fans have gone completely nuts for this brand new cinema kaiju. Right after the release of King of the Monsters, posts about Behemoth started to surface all over the internet. I spend a good bit of my Dangerville work time patrolling the Godzilla Fan Club Facebook page, and during this time, posts and pictures showcasing Behemoth were very prominent in that community. And it didn't stop there. YouTube videos discussing this creature were being published daily, and the views began to pile up. There is even now a push to get this figure or toy of the great beast into production. As far as I know, this is the only non-main titan to get this treatment from King of the Monsters. So throughout this last month and a half, I've been surprised as to why so many content creators and fans of the genre, both old and new, were so intrigued by this monster. Why is the Behemoth so awesome? It all comes down to one thing. Behemoth is unique as shit. Unlike many of the classic and new monsters seen throughout the Godzilla franchise that portray either bugs, reptiles, sea creatures, or dragons, Behemoth took the image of a mammal, joining the likes of King Kong and King Caesar. And it wasn't just one mammal that inspired this monster. It combined key elements from what looks like a mammoth and a gorilla to come up with this final design, becoming a hybrid of sorts and even furthering the Titan's unique qualities. Behemoth was originally going to look mostly like a giant monstrous mammoth, which you can see right here. Alistair actually made a video discussing early concept art for Behemoth and the other titans in this video right here if you want to check that out. But seriously, are you happy with the combined looks of both a mammoth and a gorilla? Let us know in the comments. Behemoth was a fresh take for the genre, and while the other new titans were interesting, they really didn't have that oomph that Behemoth did because they were in many people's eyes the same old thing seen time and time again. When you look at Behemoth, the first thing you think is, what the hell is this thing? That was definitely the thought that went through my head when I was watching King of the Monsters. From the ginormous tusks that reached down to the ground, to the way it walked on its knuckles like that of a primate, the large upper body and smaller back end gave it the gorilla look, while the protruding spikes down the monster's spine and its massive claws added that monster flair. Even the creature's small trunk and funky looking face that I think looks a lot like that old puppet alien Alf from the TV show, all of these features just made one awesome new monster. Its unique look made me want to know more, and as we've been discussing, I wasn't the only one who thought that way. Even watching King of the Monsters again during G-Fest with hundreds of other hardcore Godzilla fans, the crowd roared for Behemoth every time the monster showed its weird-ass face, while the other new titans were lucky to just get a few claps. As Al and I sat there, I mentioned to him, wow, people really love this big hairy boy. Behemoth's unique design gives it the feeling of being warm, cuddly, and friendly, which is bizarre to think of when you're talking about a giant destructive monster. It's like those emotional moments that we see with Kong sometimes, mixed with Manny from the Ice Age series, and even a little bit of Clifford the Big Red Dog. Kinda random, but that's the vibe I'm getting. All of those names and franchises just mentioned right there have been able to connect with us humans on a much more personal and relatable level. We are, at the end of the day, mammals ourselves, and that naturally makes us feel a bit more comfortable with something we think is more like us. Behemoth manages to capture this realistic, relatable feeling, and amazingly blends it with an element of fantasy and myth that creates one fine piece of creative art. It's like in a made-up story world, I could easily see some children riding Behemoth across the land on some fantastic journey. And I think that many kaiju fans, both young and old, thought the same exact thing about the Behemoth. And that's why this titan is downright awesome. Oh, and the thing is saving our planet's forests by crapping all over the place with its special atomic fertilizer. Pretty sure it's the only titan confirmed to have standard bowel movements. Can this monster just not get any better? I mean, come on. So what do you think about Behemoth, residents? Where does it rank on your list? Let us know in the comments. If you liked today's video, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. We really do appreciate it and it keeps us going. If you haven't followed us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, feel free to go ahead and do that right now. Thank you all so much, and as always, this has been Jacob, and peace out.